Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I am Darlene, and I am an estranged mother and an alienated grandmother. Before we get started, I just want to do a little housekeeping. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I go live. If you have questions while we're talking, put them in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can when there's a natural break. And one more thing. We have 2 special guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited to share more. We're just finalizing those details, so I can't. Before we jump in, let me ask you something. If you're here live tonight, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And what are the ages of your estranged son or estranged daughter? For me, my estranged sons, there are 3 of them. One is 37, one is 34, and one is 27. Tonight we're talking about something many estranged parents struggle with. Not just grief, confusion, replaying conversation, reanalyzing moments, trying to understand what really happened. Because one of the hardest parts of estrangements is this question: what really happened? What could erase everything? Over time, 3 things begin blending together: what happened, what it meant, what we tell ourselves now. And after a while, they feel like the same thing. Many parents remember one conversation clearly, but feel unsure about everything around it. Confusion about the story is normal. If you're listening live, tell me in the comments what part of your story feels the most confusing. Is it one moment, one conversation, or just the overall feeling that something doesn't add up? And another part: do you think that your estrangement has anything to do with the significant other that your estranged son or daughter is in a relationship with or hanging around with? Memory is not a recording. It's not reconstruction. Emotion makes memories feel stronger, but not accurate. Most people remember how something felt more clearly than what was said. And remembering differently doesn't mean someone is lying. It means memory is human. Many estranged parents develop what I call a single moment story. One argument, one holiday, one conversation, but estrangement rarely begins in that one moment. Over time, stories simplify. It was always bad. Nothing was ever enough. Feelings begin shaping facts when assume attention. We interpret silence. We assign meaning after the fact. One memory that I have is my sons and I and my husband going on vacation, and I could tell there was a distance between us. I can't tell you the details of it other than something was off. They weren't there with me. We weren't having a family vacation. Many parents move through the same cycle: confusion, searching, self blame, anger, then back to confusion again. Blame feels stabilizing, but it also keeps people stuck. I'm curious, do you find yourself replaying the same moment over and over again? And if so, when does it usually happen? At night? Driving? When you're alone? My moments, they typically occur when I see something that reminds me of them. Like if I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see a friend post pictures of their family together doing something fun, or if I'm watching TV and they talk about a relationship between mother and son, whether it be a good one or a bad one. Um, there's many times throughout the day where I'm triggered and it makes me think. And as much as I try to defocus whatever is being said, look away from the television, try and take my consciousness away from whatever it is I'm thinking by focusing on something else, it does still trigger. And it's been 10 years. Many estranged parents live inside that replay. Driving conversations, shower conversations, nighttime conversation, trying to fix the past. But replay rarely brings clarity. It usually brings exhaustion. What helps is separating observation from interpretation. They didn't respond is different from they don't care. Allowing uncertainty helps too. Some answers never come, and widening the lens often changes the story, not as excuses, but as context. Clarity takes time. Understanding doesn't erase pain, but it softens it. And separating the story from the reality is one of the biggest steps towards peace. Next episode, we're going to talk about estrangement versus alienation and how to understand the difference. Here's a strong, clean teleprompt. Oh. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so apparently I'm not entirely used to StreamYard yet. I haven't seen any comments, and I'm looking at YouTube, and it doesn't appear to be playing, even though I think it should be. So I must not have something hooked up properly. So I'm hoping I can get those questions answered before my next one, because I had originally planned on doing this sporadically, and I have probably about 30 topics that I want to cover. And I also have, so far, like I said, 2 special guests that I want to bring in that I think you guys are going to love. I know I enjoy both of them in the roles that they play and in conversations and reading their Facebooks and hearing them talk. They're 2 very inspirational women. But before we close tonight, I want to leave you with this. If you've been replaying the past, questioning your memory, or feeling stuck between confusion and self-blame, you're not alone. None of us are alone. And I think the number of estranged parents around the world is far greater than we have even begun to uncover. There are multiple groups on Facebook. There are multiple podcasts on estrangement. There's just a lot, and they have a lot of followers. Now, I'm just new. I'm not expecting to get a lot of followers. I'm just trying to share my story and hopefully understand more about my own life with the topics that I want to cover, because the only people that can help ourselves is ourselves. But having a support group, someone whom you can talk to, who knows what you're going through, who doesn't judge, who doesn't try and fix it, who doesn't say, well, you're a bad mother, you're whatever, because I know I wasn't a bad mother. I know I gave my children everything. And you know what? Maybe that is the bad part. We all take what we learned from our own parents and we try and adjust that to align with the values that we want to instill in our children from the day they're born until the day they leave the house. And it doesn't always work out. And for some reason, and I don't know if this has been going on forever, but it seems a lot more prevalent now. And it could also be because I'm part of the group, but I don't recall, like, my mom had problems with two of my brothers and sisters. They weren't close. My dad had a problem with one of my sisters, and they were estranged, but that was because he kicked her out. But we all still did family functions. We all still got together. We all still spoke. We all still had a normal family environment. Whereas today's estrangement, it's cold turkey. The door gets shut, they walk out, and that's it. You don't hear from them again. They block you on social media. They block phone numbers. They won't respond if they haven't blocked you. And then they instill their feelings onto your grandchildren, if there are any. And then add in their significant others, or maybe an ex-husband or an ex-wife and their feelings. So you're not alone. We are a much bigger group. And you're not failing. Trying to understand what happened is one of the most natural responses to estrangement. But clarity doesn't come from replaying the story. One thing there, when I did have access to my kids, I would send them videos of when they were little. Christmases that we recorded on video. Because I wanted them to see that we had an incredible family life. Where did this come from? Like, I couldn't understand. And instead of them acknowledging that it was good, until maybe it wasn't, they tell me that I keep throwing old history at them instead of moving on. Well, if I move on the way they're moving on, it means I'll never see them again. I'll never hear from them again. I'll never talk to them again. And that just might be what it is. And I might just have to accept that. But for me, that story is priceless. And I'm never going to forget it. I'm never going to stop talking about it or sharing it. If they don't want to see it, if they don't want to know about it, I'm okay with that. It comes slowly from stepping back, softening the narrative, and allowing complexity to exist. Some answers will come, some won't. Some never will. That's hard. And learning to live peacefully with what you don't know, that is even harder. But that's often where real relief begins. If tonight resonated with you, make sure you subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next episode. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Next time, we're talking about something many parents wrestle with: estrangement versus alienation, and how to understand the difference. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being maybe just a computer that I'm talking to for now, but hopefully grows into a group of people that I know are feeling the same things that I might be feeling, and then might have ideas or suggestions for me as much as I might have ideas or suggestions for them. Because we're all in this together. So we're not alone. Take care of yourselves. Self-care is the most important thing. And it's not selfish. And I'll see you next time.